Hello and welcome to another Q&A video. Now I put out a tweet on Twitter saying ask me questions, anything you like, and here we are. Sorry if this has been delayed. I've been uni and life have got in the way, so anyway, without further ado, let's begin with the questions. Okay, so Elle asks, who is your fave Disney princess? My favourite Disney princess, probably Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Not the auto-tuned Emma Watson Belle, the original animated one. Probably because she probably has the best singing voice. She's probably the most attractive out of all of them. And she has the best character out of all of them. She's someone who doesn't follow in with the crowd. She does her own thing because she wants to. She doesn't fawn over other men like the other women do, and yeah, you could argue she suffers from Stockholm syndrome because she falls in love with the man who captures her. But yeah, that's what I just think. Belle is the best character because everything that's good, pure about the world is in Belle, and she is kind, but she has her limits. And yeah, Belle is probably my favourite Disney princess. Thanks for your question. Matt Stark asks, favourite Shakespeare play? My favourite Shakespeare play is Richard III. Probably because I like history and I like Shakespeare, and I think he takes liberties with history, but he still makes it entertaining to watch. I've studied Richard III for A-level drama, so I really like the play. I've seen the Ian McKellen version and the Benedict Cumberbatch version, as well as seeing a live performance at West Yorkshire Playhouse, which was really good to see. Yeah, it's probably my favourite because you get into the mind of Richard, you understand why he does this, but you can also see Shakespeare kind of demonises him by making him a monster, which may or may not have been true. But yeah, and you see his descent into madness. That's why Richard III is probably my favourite. However, other favourites are also probably The Tempest, because I've been in it. And I think it's a perfect mix of both humour and also serious subject matter as well. I do like his history plays as well, like Richard III, but I also like Richard II, Henry IV Part 1, didn't like Part 2 as much, Henry V, and Henry VI. I do like those plays. Yeah, so I tend to lean more towards Shakespeare's history plays rather than his comedies, but his comedies can be good, like A Midsummer Night's Dream, which I performed last night. We got loads of laughs. So yeah, Richard III probably, as well as his history plays, is probably best answer there. Tommy Kraska asks, what performances, both on stage and screen, inspire you? I'm not sure about stage, but on screen I'd probably say the one that comes to mind is Malcolm McDowell from A Clockwork Orange, because it's the perfect mix of both charming but also madness. He's completely mad and he's completely sadistic, but there's such a charm and elegance to him, and I think the character is just fascinating to watch, as well as the actor. And the fact that Malcolm McDowell was not nominated for an Oscar for A Clockwork Orange just baffles me. I can't believe that. Then again, the Academy wouldn't know a good film if it hit them on the head. Yeah. In terms of others, probably the all 13 or 14 Doctors, because they're all great. They all bring something new to the role, which is hard to do given that it's the same character. Well, the same man, but or woman now. But yeah, probably Malcolm McDowell, as well as the 13 Doctors. Yeah, I'm probably gonna say that. Yeah. Okay, next question. 50W50 asks, do Macra think we walk sideways? They probably do think that. Basically, if you don't know this, the Macra is a giant crab monster that appeared in Doctor Who. And crabs do walk sideways, so yeah, if we walk forwards, they probably think we are walking sideways. Fan theory that, all you like. Yeah, they probably do think that. Mary asks, what's the best episode of Little Britain? Good question. I find it hard to judge what the best episode is because it's a sketch show, and usually the best sketches are all over different episodes rather than just in one. But if I was to pick best episode, maybe the season finale from series 3, where character arcs, if you can call them that, are wrapped up, and for example, the Fat Fighters finally are sick of Marjorie and they leave her. The Prime Minister decides to resign, leaving Sebastian heartbroken. Lou has to go away from Andy for a while. Bubbles. Something bad actually happens to her ex-husband, finally leaves her, and yeah, that's what I can think of. Yeah, I'd probably say that one because it feels like the end of an era, and it kind of was, because it was. David Williams and Matt Lucas couldn't do a series 4 of Little Britain right then because they were doing a live tour of Little Britain across the UK, so series 4 was a no-no at that time. And yeah, I'd probably say that's the best episode, but the best sketches I'd say are probably in series 1, because I just really like these sketches in series 1. They kind of became more crude in series 2 and 3, but it didn't make the series bad in my opinion. But yeah, I think I just like the more subtler sketches in series 1. Anyway, yeah, I'd probably say the series 3 finale. Next question. Jordan Varley asks, do you think Amy is as bad as Rose for leaving home the day before her wedding? That's quite a reasonable question, and probably a reasonable criticism against Amy. Simple answer, no, because you can interpret her travelling with the doctor the night before her wedding as nerves. She was nervous about getting married, and she felt in a time machine. Having a time machine, it can be the night before her wedding for as long as she wants. But in the end, it all led to something. She accepted Rory was her husband, they'd be together, they'd marry, and she accepted Rory, unlike Rose, who practically dismissed everything about Mickey, saying there was nothing there for her anymore. I mean, top companion or what? Yeah, Amy never said that about Rory, I think. She loved him. And Rose was just a complete bitch to Mickey, so no, Jordan, Amy is not as bad as Rose. Not even close. Okay, Pips asks 2 questions. Do you think World War II could have been avoided if Hitler was accepted into art school? You never know, possibly. Because if you become an artist, the world could have been very different. But also, there could have been another ruler or dictator out there who would have made Germany this great country again after the First World War. Because I think the Treaty of Versailles was also partly responsible for World War II. The fact that it just demilitarized Germany, they were forced to pay everything back after World War One. Yeah, so I think maybe there would have been another ruthless dictator who could have maybe started World War II, because there was already damages against Germany, down to the Allies, but yeah, possibly, maybe. I don't know. Also, her second question is, what are your opinions on communism? Do you think Stalin was right? The thing about communism is, I think it can work. I think it works okay on paper. Like, everyone gets equal pay, there's no class system, so there's no ongoing debate about equal pay and everything. The problem is you then get jobs that seem more advanced than others. For example, in communism, like a doctor who goes to work every day and saves lives would get paid the exact same amount as someone who collects rubbish for a living. So yeah, you do get that, but yeah. Plus, there's virtually not really much democracy because it's a dictatorship. We don't choose the leader, so yeah, there's kind of an idea there, but no, I don't think it works too well. No. Next question. Brogan asks, can you please do some impressions? Thank you. Some impressions. Okay, here's a few. What's the matter? Store wouldn't take your stolen credit card. Hello. Oh, that's a big dog. Oh, I'm very tired, Jeremy. Oh, so they want me to star in it? Write the theme tune, sing the theme tune. Dust. Anybody? No. In fact, dust. Anybody? No. Dust. Anybody? No. Dust. Hello, darlings. Bubbles here. Here it is, Mr. Hutton. £20,000, all bed and board paid for. But we don't need the cheque, do we, darling? We don't. I don't think so. I think you'll find I am the only gay in this village. Now, Andy, are you sure you want this one? Yeah? Because this isn't really the right card for your brother. It says with deepest sympathy. You know, you send that to someone when they've died. Oh, no. So you sure you want this card for your brother? Yeah. Okay. His birthday's not dead. That's all I can think of, really, just little written characters. There is another question like this, but it's for something else, which I'll reveal in a little while. But, yeah, those are most of my voices. But, yeah, anyway, next question. Richard George asks, first full Doctor Who story, both classic and New Who, and do you think people finding Mass Murderer Missy funny a bit odd? Okay, first full Doctor Who story, both classic and New Who. My first Doctor Who story was New Who. It was Rise of the Cybermen, in 2006. And the cliffhanger where they're about to be deleted by the Cybermen is the reason I kept coming back to the show. So yeah, that was New Who and first overall. Classic was Earthshock, another Cyberman story. And yeah, that's a great starting point if you do want to get into classic Who, Earthshock. So yeah, Rise of the Cybermen and Earthshock, both Cybermen stories. Probably the reason why they're my favourite villain. And do you think people finding Mass Murderer Missy funny a bit odd? Well, it's kind of subjective, isn't it? What I mean is, the thing about Missy is that, yeah, she is a psychopath, but also she is, also it can be quite funny on how insane she is. You've just dug me into a hole here. Yeah, it's subjective. If you want to think it's funny, go ahead and think it's funny. It's your life. I'm not going to stop you. Mary asks another question. How many times a day do you brush your teeth? twice. Once in the evening, once at night. Yeah, hope that answered your question. Dave Knight asks, can you do any Simpsons voices? Okay, here goes. Oh goody, the sea monkeys I ordered have arrived. Smithers, who is that ignoramus sat there? It's Homer Simpson, sir. He's one of your drones in Sector 7G. Simpson, eh? New man? Actually, you ran over his son. He thwarted your campaign for governor. His wife painted you in the nude. Doesn't ring a bell. Oh, you have got to be kidding me, sir. First you think of an idea that has already been done, and then you give it a title that nobody could possibly like, and it was on the bestseller list for 18 months. Every magazine, most popular movie of all time, sir. What were you thinking? Donuts, I got donuts, hey, I know you. Allow me to summarize the proposed transaction. You wish to buy a copy of Bone Storm for 99 cents. Clean net price, negative $59. Oh, please take my $59. I don't want it, it's yours. Seeing as you're unfamiliar with sarcasm, I should close the register at this point. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Super Nintendo Chalmers. I'm learning. Jay, my new film is a mixture of action and comedy. It's called McBain. Let's get silly. Did you ever notice how men always leave the toilet seat up? That's the joke. I think that's all I can do, to be honest. So yeah, I hope that was entertaining for you. Mary asks another question. What is the best thing about being from South Kirby? South Kirby is my hometown, so where I'm originally from, so let's think.
1 hour later. 2 hours later. 3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
There's really nothing I can think of. It's literally the last place God created when he was making the earth. The Bible says he rested on the 7th day, but no, he created South Kirby as a final insult because it's a shithole. Yeah, I can't think of anything good about that place. It's the most boring place on earth. Yeah, hope that answered your question. Jack asks, what is your favourite meal and why? My favourite meal is probably a margarita pizza because the taste is really nice and yeah, I love the mixture of cheese and tomato. Plus it goes well with a fizzy drink, so yeah, that's probably my favourite meal. Connor Tully asks, who's your favourite cousin, brackets, me? I don't believe in favourites, sorry. Matthew Gill asks, would you rather have a vagina on your forehead or have a row of penises down your back like a stegosaurus? I really don't know what goes on in your head to think this, but probably the row of penises like a stegosaurus, because at least I'd look like a dinosaur and not have a giant vagina on my forehead. Yeah, there's your answer. That is all the questions, I believe. So, thank you for your questions, dear viewers. Your very bizarre questions, I might add, some of them. So, yeah, that's all from me. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.